Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll explain the important questions along with the answers from Module 3 in Programming in C. From this video, you can easily pass and score as well because this is the complete syllabus of Module 3. I have created these questions in such a way that it will cover the entire syllabus of this Module 3. It contains the arrays, strings and pointer concepts completely. Let us start. Before starting, if you are new to my channel and subscribe to it for more videos like this, then done. Let us start. These are all the important questions, 10 questions. It covers the complete syllabus of Module 3 as I told you. Let us start with the first question. What is an array? And explain single dimensional arrays in C with declaration, initialization and an example program. Here you have to write the definition of an array. After that, explain single dimensional array with the declaration, initialization along with the example program. Everything in detail about single dimensional arrays. Here array is a collection of multiple values of the same data type stored in continuous memory locations and accessed using one common name. Here array is a collection of multiple values. As you can see here, it is an array of 5 is equal to, I have stored some numbers. Here you can observe one thing, that the same data type, integer type of value stored in the array 5. Same data type stored in continuous memory locations and accessed using one common name. I can easily access that name using one common name. By taking the index of that value, I can easily access that value. Clear? This is a collection of multiple values of the same data type stored in continuous memory locations and accessed using one common name. This is array. What is single dimensional array? Here it stores the elements in linear order using single index. It uses only the single index and it will store the elements in linear order only. Clear? It will store in single line. That is single dimensional array. Here declaration of the single dimensional array. First you have to mention the data type and array name of that array, and size. What is the size? How many elements you are going to insert inside that array. Clear? The data type. For example, the data type is integer. I have to insert the values inside that array. Clear? Array name is, I have taken A and the size is 5. I am going to insert 5 elements inside the array. And integer data type, I am going to insert the numbers inside that array. Clear? And this declares an array named A, and that can store 5 integer values. Clear with this? This is about the declaration of single dimensional array. Let us see how to initialize the array. Means how to give the values to that array. I have initialized the array. How to assign the values to array. Let us see. At the time of declaration, int a of 5 is equal to, at the time of declaration also I can tell. Clear? Int a of 5 is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I have taken 5 values inside A. The array name A. Without size, here I can initialize without size also. Int A is equal to, array A is equal to 1, 2, 3. Without giving the size, without mentioning the size, I have initialized the array. Clear? In this case, I have taken the size as 5. In this case, I haven't taken any size. Without giving the size also, I can initialize an array. Clear? Here assigning individuality. How to assign values inside the array means A of 0 is equal to 10, A of 1 is equal to 20. In 0th index, I am giving the value, I am assigning the value 10. And in the first index, I am assigning the value 20. Clear with this? Then the array values will be, array size will be 2. A of 2 is equal to, in the curly braces, I will take 10 and 20. That is the array. Clear? In this case, for this, array of 2, because the size is 2, is equal to, in curly braces, I'll take 10 and 20. These are all the 2 values. If I want to access 10, then I have to take, I can easily access by giving the index of that array. 0th index, if I want to access 10, I have to give A of 0. In that index, whatever the value is there, I can easily access that value. Clear? If I want to access the value 20, I want to give A of 1, first index. Clear this? Initialization of an array. And the next one is accessing array elements. As I told you earlier, using index of that array, I can easily access any element inside the array. Array elements are accessed using index numbers. Index number A of 0, A of 1, A of 2. If I want to access 50, I have to give A of 4 because array index starts from 0. 0. This is the 0th index, first index, second index, third index and fourth index. Clear? I can easily access by using index numbers. Index starts from 0. As I told you, index always starts from 0. This is the 0th index, first, second and third, fourth. For example, A of 0 is the first element. A of 4 is the last element. In this case, I'll take A of 0 is the first element and A of 4 is the last element. Clear? Let us see one example program. Ash includes standard input output.h. This is a preprocessor part. You can see in any program, any C program, it includes 3 parts, mainly 3 parts. Preprocessor and main function, and third one is statements. Any program contains one preprocessor, main function and statements. Main function means it will tell that from where the execution of the program should start. Means from main function only the program execution starts. That's why main function is very important. And the statement means the statements present inside the main function. These are all the statements. Clear? Whatever the statements I'll give inside the main function, those will execute. And why this preprocessor means I'm including standard input output dot h. I'm including input output header files inside this main function. For example, you can see the scanf and printf. Scanf is to scan the input function and printf is to print the output. Clear? The ash includes standard input output dot h means it is including the standard input output header files in the main function. If I don't write this line, then it doesn't understand what is printf and scanf. That is why we have to include standard input output dot h, standard input output header files. Clear? Here int a of 5 I have taken. I can easily insert 5 elements inside that array. For I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. In this case, it will keep on increment. I have used for loop. I also explained what is for loop, while loop, do while loop, everything in detail in previous videos. You can check out that. Scanf percentage d, address of a of I. Percentage d is a format specifier I will use for the integeric values. I have already explained about format specifiers in previous videos. You can check out those videos. And address of a of I, it will go to that value of I. And after that, for I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, again printf percentage d a of I. It will print the values of I from, it will start from 0, it will keep on increment until and unless it becomes, value becomes less than 5. Once the condition fails, it will come out of that loop. Clear? Array index starts from 0. As I told you, array index starts from 0. Here, the index starts from 0. All elements must be of same data type. All the elements inside the array must be same data type. That might be integer, anything. Clear? Single loop is enough to access all elements. To access all the elements, I can take single loop. If I want to access all the elements, single loop is enough. Use it to store multiple values efficiently. Why we use array means to store the multiple values. I can easily store multiple values efficiently. Clear with this? Let us see the second question. Explain two-dimensional array in C. Write a program to read and display a matrix. Here we have seen 1D array here. Let us see what is 2D array. 2D array is an array of arrays. It is an array of arrays, which means it is used to store the data in the form of rows and columns. Rows and columns. Clear? Like a matrix or a table. Like a table or a matrix. Clear? Rows and columns. 2D means data can be stored in rows and columns. Declaration of 2D array. Here, data type, it is mandatory in the 1D also. After that, array name, it is also mandatory. And here, row and column. In 1D array, we used to store in a linear form, in a single line. But here you can see rows and columns. 3 rows and 3 columns we have. This declares the matrix with 3 rows and 3 columns. It has a 3 rows and 3 columns. This is a declaration. How to initialize it? Int a of 2 rows. We have taken 2 rows and 2 columns. In that, we have the values are 1, 2 and 3, 4. First row we have 1 and 2, and second row we have 3 and 4. Here 0 of 0, a of, if I want to access 1, then how to take that? If I want to access the value 1, then I have to take a of 0 and 0, 0th row, 0th column. Clear? If I want to access the value 2, then I have to take a of 0th row and first column. Clear? It will appear in the 0th row, first column. If I want to access the value 3, then I have to take a of first row and 0th column. First row and 0th column. If I want to access the value 4, then I have to take a of first row and first column. Clear about this? How it can be stored in matrix form? Clear? Then accessing the elements. I have already told that it can be, this is the first row and second row. If I want to access this one, I have to take 0th row, 0th column. This one will be first row, first column. Clear? It will be stored in 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear? Clear about this? Elements are accessed using 2 indices. We have row and column. First index represents the row. This one will be row. And second index represents the column. Clear about that? For example, a of 0, 0, 0. This is the row. This is the column. A of 1, 2. In this case, I can access the value 1. In this case, I can access the, sorry, there is no second index here. If I take 1 and 1, a of 1 and 1, then I can access the value 4. Clear about how to access initialization and declaration? Let us see an example. Program to read and display a matrix. Here, ash includes standard input output.h. I have told that why we use this into main function. From this, the execution of the program starts. Int a of 3 and 3. Here I have taken 3 rows and 3 columns. Here it declares the 2D integer array. 3 rows and 3 columns. And integer variables ij to be used as a loop counters. Clear? For 1 and 3. You can see here, this is the input phase and this is the output phase. In input phase, the first set of the nested loops, for loops are, for loop iterates through each row I and the column j. Clear? Each row I and the column j of the matrix. And scanf, here I used scanf. It reads the integer from the user during each iteration and stores in the corresponding matrix position. Clear about that? And in the output phase, you can see that the second set of nested for loops again iterates through all the matrix elements. And printf here, it will print the value stored in A of I and j. And here printf slash n, it ensures the new line after each row is printed and formatting the output as 3 cross 3, that is 3 rows and 3 columns. It will return 0. That signals the successful program execution. Clear? After entering the matrix elements, it will return give the output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9. Here actual output depends on the input values entered by the user only. Whatever the user will enter, based on that only the output will be given based for this program. Clear? Here two-dimensional array stores the data in rows and columns, as I told you, rows and columns. You can see here in the example program, the output, input and output. These are all the 3 rows, first, second and third row, first, second and third column. Clear? Uses two nested loops. Here you can see for loop, two nested loop. Loop inside a loop is called nested loop. And index starts from 0. Always index starts from 0 only. Clear? And commonly use it to represent the matrices. Why we use this 2D array means to represent the matrices, because we can store in the rows and columns. That's why I can easily represent the matrices using 2D arrays. Clear with this? Let us move to the next question. What are multidimensional arrays? Explain memory representation of 2D arrays with an example. Here 1D finished, 2D is also completed, multidimensional array. And we have to explain memory representation of 2D array with an example. Here multidimensional arrays are the arrays that have more than one dimension. For example, they are used to store the data in tables. Directly I can store the tables, matrices or the grids. Clear? That is multidimensional array. I can store any type of data in the form of tables, matrices or grids. Two-dimensional array is the most common type of multidimensional array. For example, I can say that 2D array is also an example of multidimensional array, and which is most commonly used in multidimensional array as well. For example, int A of 3 and 4. Here we have 3 rows and 4 columns. This array has 3 rows and 4 columns. Clear with this? Memory representation of 2D array. They have asked to represent the memory of 2D. In C, two-dimensional arrays are stored in row major order. What does that mean, row major order? That means elements of the first row are stored first. Elements of the first row are stored first. Here I have told, right? Here you can see elements of first row are stored first. After that, second row. This is the first row and second row. Clear? The elements of first row are stored first, then second row. Clear? And so on. It continues memory locations. How it will store means elements of the first row, after that second row. Clear? I have already explained that. Example of 2D array once again. Int A of 2 and 3. Here 2 rows and 3 columns. I have here 2 rows, that is 1, 2, 3 is 1 row, 4, 5, 6, 1 more row. 3 column means 1 and below 4 will come, 2 and 5 will come, 3 and 6 will come. Clear about this? Clear? Here the logical view of the matrix form is 1, 2, 3, below that 4, 5, 6 I will get. Clear? This is 2 rows you can see and 3 columns you can see. This is the matrix form representation, the logical view of this example. Memory storage order will be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, after that 4, 5, 6. First row and after that second row. This is the memory storage order. Clear? Row by row. After first row, it will immediately go to second row. It will not consider the columns. It will go row by row. First row and second row. Clear about this? All elements are stored row by row in consecutive memory locations. Clear? Here, if I want to access the first value, then I have to take 0th row and 0th column. If I want to access the second value 2, then I have to go for 0th row and first column. This is the first column. If I want to access 3, then 0th row, second column. So on. Clear? Simultaneously for these also. And multidimensional arrays are used to store the data in more than one dimension. You can see that the representation of 2D, for example, and the tables also you can store easily. 2D array are stored in row major order in C, which means it will the memory will store only row by row, not column. It will store in the row by row. Memory allocation is continuous, row by row. Index always starts from 0. This is very important that you have to remember. Clear? You can also tell that this is the first position, second position, third position. No, this is the 0th position, first position and second position. By that index value only you can access that particular value. Clear? You have to give the row value, row index value and the column index value. This is for row and this is for column. If you give it also, you can't get the specific value what you are searching for. Clear? Let us move to the next question. Explain how arrays are passed to functions in C. How the arrays are passed to functions, and write a program to pass a single dimensional array to a function. Let us see. In C, when an array is passed to a function, the base address of the array is passed to the function. So that if I changes made inside the function, if I made any changes inside the function, that will affect the array also, the original array as well. Clear? That's why when the array is passed to a function, the base address of the array is passed to a function. Any changes made inside the function will affect the original array also. Clear? How array are passed to function? Let us see. An array is passed to a function by specifying the array name as the argument. We have to specify the array name as the argument. And the function receives the array using an array parameter or the pointer. It will receive array, the same array as the array parameter or the pointer. Let us see an example in detail. Function declaration syntax is return type that you have to mention. After that, the function name, data type, array name, and inside that size you can mention also, if not also not problem, int size. Here, for example, I'll take passing a single dimensional array to a function. Here, I have taken an example. Hash includes standard input output.h. I have included the input and standard input and output header files. Void display int array and int n. Void is the return type. Display is the array name. Int array of int n, data type and size of that. Int I, for I have taken the loop and printf function. Inside the main function, I have initialized and I have declared and initialized an array. Int a of 5 is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is the array. It displays a and 5, which means it will display the 5 elements inside that. Return 0. The output will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 because all the elements in the array I can easily access. Here, array name represents the base address. Array name is the base address and size of the array is usually passed as separate argument. Size of the array. It is passed as a separate argument in the function here, display function. It changes inside, affects the original array. If I made any changes inside the function, that will affect the original array as well. As I told you earlier, it is used to avoid copying large data. Why we use this means to avoid copying large data sets. Clear? Let us move to next question. What is a string in C? Which is a very simple concept. Easily you can learn. Explain string declaration, initialization and input-output functions with an example. Here, string in C is a sequence of characters stored in character array and terminated by a null character. It will store the characters, sequence of a characters. Clear? In character array, which will terminate at the end by using null character. Here, string declaration will be using character array only. Syntax is char string of size. For example, I have taken char data type and the name, I have taken the string name as name. The size will be 20. This is how we have to declare an string, declare a string. String initialization. Here, using double quotes also I can initialize, using character list also I can initialize. We have two ways, two methods to initialize the string. The first one is using double quotes. Character, I have used the character data type, and the name, I have not specified any size inside that, is equal to C programming. I have initialized the string here. Using character list initialize, let us see each character I have taken in separate single quotes. You can see here, I have separated each character by single quotes. It will end with the null character. Clear? Character name is equal to hello, but I have separated by the single quotes here. There are two methods to initialize the string. Clear about this? String input functions we have using scanf and using gets. We use this one only regularly. Scanf %yes. For string I have to use always the format specifier %yes. For integer we will use %d. For string we will use %s and the name. Reads the complete word inside the string. It will stop whenever the space is there. Clear about this? And the second one is using gets. Gets name. This is how we will use this string function. It will read a full line. It will read word by word. It will read the full line. It is not recommended in modern C. We will recommend only using scanf. It will read word by word, not complete line. It will read word by word. Whenever the space will come, it will stop at that space. Clear? Here we have string output functions using printf and using puts. Here printf means %s and name. The same for scanf also. Here using puts means puts name. It displays the string and move to the new line. It will move to the new line. For example, hash includes standard input output.h. Int main. The execution starts from here and the statements are char name 20. Here I have taken the character name. The size is 20. Printf enter your name. After entering that, it will scan that and this is a character. That's why I have taken %yes. It is a string. That's why %yes. And the name, printf the name %s sign name. It will give the output whatever you have entered. It will return 0 for the successful execution. Here strings are stored in character arrays. Strings are stored in character arrays. After that, each string ends with null character. As I told you, each string ends with the null character. And scanf reads only one word. Here, scanf reads only single word. It will stop whenever the space is found. Puts prints the string with new line. It will print the string with the new line. After that, it will move to the new line. Clear? Let's move to the next question. Difference between character array and string. Explain common string handling functions. What is array? What is string? You have to mention the differences between array and string. Character array means it is a collection of characters. String is a character array ending with a null character. It may or may not end with a null character, but it must always end with null character. And here in character array, each character is treated separately. Here each character is treated as single text unit. It is used to show the individual characters in array. It is used to show the words or text. Here character array, string functions cannot be used directly. Here string functions can be used. Let us see about the string functions in later questions. For example, char a of 5 is equal to, I can store 5 elements inside that. This is 0th index, 1st index, 2nd, 3rd and 4th index. Clear? For example, char yes is equal to hello. This is for string, this is for character array. Clear? Let us move to the next. They have asked one more thing, that is explain common string handling functions. String functions can be used right here. Let us see what are string handling functions. Here string length, string copy, string cat, string compare, string lower, string upper. These are all the string handling functions. String length means it returns the length of the string, excluding null character. For example, string length of hello, it will return 5 because the length of the string is 5. 5 elements are there inside the string. That's why it will return 5. Here, string copy means it copies one string into another. For example, string copy, if I use strcpy, string copy, destination and source, it will copy one string to the another string. String cat, it joins two strings, that is string 1 and string 2. Clear? It will join two strings. String compare means it will compare two strings. It returns if both strings are equal. If both are equal, it will return 0. String lower means it will convert the complete string into lowercase. String upper means it will convert string to uppercase. If I want to convert to uppercase, I have to use string upper. If I want to convert to lowercase, then I have to use string lower. Clear? These are all the string handling functions. Let us move to the next question. What is pointer? Explain pointer variable, pointer declaration, initialization with examples. Pointer is a variable that stores the memory address of another variable. It is a variable. Pointer is a variable. What it will store means the memory address of another variable. It will store the memory address of the another variable. Let us see how exactly it works. Pointer variable holds the address of a variable, not the value itself. It means it will store the address of the variable. Pointer means pointing to the address of that variable, not the value. Clear? Pointer declaration. Data type. Here I will use star. Pointer name. For example, I have taken the integer data type star and pointer name I have taken p. This is how we have to declare that. Here p is a pointer name to an integer. The data type is integer. How to initialize the pointers? Pointer is initialized by assigning it the address of the variable using address operator. That is ampersand, address operator. By using address operator, I can easily assign the address of a variable. Let us see an example. Int a is equal to 10. I have taken int a is equal to 10. Star p, here I have declared. How to initialize means p is equal to address of a. Here I have taken the variable name. I am addressing to that variable. Clear? P is equal to, I am addressing to that variable name. Clear? How to initialize the pointer? Here p contains the address of a. It doesn't contain the value of a. It will contain the address of a. And star p gives the value of a. Here it will give the value of a, that is 10. Clear? Clear about the pointer declaration and initialization. And the next one is the program. Ash includes standard input output.h. I will include the standard input output header files. Int main, the program execution starts from here. Int a is equal to 10. Int star p is equal to address of a. I have initialized it, declared and initialized it in the same line. Printf value of a is equal to %d/n_a. Here the value of a will be printed. The value of a is equal to 10. It will print, it will give the output as the value of a is equal to 10. After that, printf address of a is equal to %p/n and address of a. In this case, it will print the address of a is equal to some memory address. It will print the memory address. Clear? Whenever I will execute, at that time it will print the address, memory address of that a. Clear? Printf value using pointer is equal to %d and star p. It will print the value of a. In this case, it will print the value of a, that is 10. Return 0, which shows that the successful execution. Here, the address value will change every time the program runs. The address value, whatever I have taken, it will change every time when I execute. Clear? If I execute, it will give some other address. After some time, if I execute, again it will show some other address. That's why the address value will change every time the program runs. Clear? Pointer stores the address of the variable. It will store the address of the variable. Star symbol is used to declare and dereference a pointer, and address is used to get the address of the variable. Pointers help in Efficient memory usage. Why we use pointer means for efficient memory usage. Let us move to the next question. Explain pointer operators and pointer expressions in C with suitable examples. What are pointer operators and pointer expressions? Pointer operators means we have address operator and indirection, that is reference operator. Let us see address operator. I have already explained. The address operator is used to get the memory address of the variable. To get the memory address of that variable. Int a is equal to 10. Int star asterisk p is equal to address of a. It will give the memory location, memory address of that a. Here address of a gives the address of variable a. Here indirection or dereference operator means asterisk. The indirection operator is used to access the value stored at the address pointed by the pointer. It will give to access the value which is stored at the address pointed by the pointer. Clear? To access that I will use this indirection or dereference operator. For example, int a is equal to 10. The same example, int asterisk p is equal to address of a. By this, here the asterisk p gives the value of 10. To access that I will use this indirection or dereference operator. Pointer expressions in C. They have asked the pointer expressions as well. Pointer expressions involves the operations performed on pointers. Means the operations performed on pointers. For example, addition, pointer arithmetic, that is p plus 1, p minus 1, anything. Let us see, int a is equal to 10. Int asterisk p is equal to address of a. After that, asterisk p plus 1, which gives the value 11. Because asterisk p gives 10 plus 1 gives 11. Clear? Here asterisk p gives the value 10. I have taken plus 1. That's why it will give the value 11. Let us take one more example, pointer arithmetic. If p points to an integer, p plus 1 moves to the next integer memory location. Clear? For example, p plus 1 means address of the next integer. P minus 1 means address of previous integer. Clear? Clear with this? Here, let us see one more example program. Ash includes standard input output.h, int main, int a is equal to 10, again same, int star asterisk p is equal to address of a, printf values of a, address of a. Again, the same example we have seen here. The same example, it will print the value of a. After that, address of main a means it will print the address of a. Some address, some memory location it will print. After that, again, value using star p. Again, it will print the value 10. After that, p plus 1. I am using this pointer expressions in C. P plus 1. That's why it will give the value 11. Clear? The p will be 10, then p plus 1 will be 11. Address gives the address of the variable and asterisk accesses the value at that address. I can access that value. Pointer arithmetic depends on the data type. It will depends on the data type, and pointer expressions are used in array and functions. Where we use these pointer expression means in arrays and functions as well. Let us move to the next question. Explain the relationship between pointers and arrays. Write the program to access the array elements using pointers. How to access, if I want to access the array elements using pointers, how to access it? Let us see. Relationship between pointers and arrays. In C, an array name represents the base address of the array. And a pointer can be used to point at the first element of an array. Why we use pointer means to point the first element of the array. Array elements can be accessed using pointers. They have asked how to access the array elements using pointers. So that we can easily say array elements can be accessed using pointers. For an array, A is the same as array of 0. Means the size we haven't declared yet. For example, int a of 5, which means I have 5 elements, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Int asterisk p is equal to a. Here you can see p points to the first element of the array. First element of the array, that is 10. And accessing array elements using pointers, p plus I gives the address of a of I. And asterisk p plus I gives the value of a of I. For better understand, let us see an example. Ash includes standard input output.h, int main, int a of 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here you can see that I have taken 5 elements inside the array, and this declares an integer array named a with 5 elements and initialized them with the given values. The array name a itself acts as a pointer to the address of its first elements a of 0. Int asterisk p. Here this declares the pointer variable named p, and that is capable of storing the memory address of an integer as well. Int I. This declares an integer variable I to be used as loop counter, and p is equal to a. This assigns the base address of the array a to the pointer p, and now p is p points to the first element of the array. Where is this cursor? P points to the first element of the array. And for I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. This loop iterates 5 times with I going from 0 to 4. Clear? I is less than 5 means 0 to 4. And in each iteration, I represents the current index of the array element to access. Clear? Printf %d and asterisk p plus I. This is the pointer, this line is for pointer access. Here p plus I, it uses a pointer arithmetic to calculate memory address of the ith element after the starting address stored in p. Clear? I have explained this one already. After that, star p asterisk p plus I, the dereference operator, it will retrieve the value stored at the calculated memory address. Clear? This expression is functionally equivalent to a of I. After that, printf, it prints the retrieved integer value followed by the space. Return 0 and it is successful execution. Here the output will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. The loop continues this process, printing each element sequentially until all 5 elements has been displayed. Array name acts as a pointer and pointer can access array elements as well. Pointer arithmetic is used with arrays. Array and pointers are closely related. Clear with this? Let us move to the next question. What are multiple indirection and pointer initialization? Explain with suitable examples. Multiple indirection means a pointer pointing to another pointer. One pointer pointing to another pointer, that is multiple indirection. It is also called as pointer to pointer. Clear? Multiple indirection or pointer to pointer. A pointer pointing to another pointer. In multiple indirection, one pointer stores the address of another pointer, which means one pointer stores the address of another pointer. And that pointer stores the address of variable. The pointer stores the address of variable. For example, int a is equal to 10, asterisk p. Here, p stores the address of a. P stores the address of a. Here, pp I have taken, it will store the address of p. It will store the address of p. Clear? Accessing the values. How to access that? Here, asterisk p gives the value of 10. This will give the value of 10 and this will give the value of this one. That is a of 10. Clear? Let us see about pointer initialization. Pointer initialization means assigning the address of variable to pointer at the time of declaration or later. Initialization, all of you know that I am assigning a value to that variable at the time of declaration or later also it can be done. Initialization at declaration. Let us see, int a is equal to, I have assigned the value 10 to the variable a. Int asterisk p is equal to address of a. I have initialized the value of a to the p. Clear? Initialization at the declaration only. Here I am declaring. After that, in the same line only I am initializing. For example, initialization after declaration. Here in separate line I have declared. After declaration I am initializing. P is equal to address of a. Clear? In the single line. Initialization at declaration only. Initialization after declaration. Clear? Let us see one example program. Hash includes standard input output dot h. Int main. Int a is equal to 10. Int asterisk p is equal to address of a. Again, I have explained this example in the previous. Printf value of a, it will print the value of a, that is 10, and printf value using asterisk p, that is 10. Again, it will give the value 10, which is stored inside the variable a. Printf value using, I'm using multiple indirection, again, which will point to the asterisk p, the same value, that is 10. It will give the output as value of a is equal to 10, value of a is equal to 10, value using asterisk p is equal to again 10, value using, I'm using multiple indirectories, that is also 10. Clear? Multiple indirection uses a pointer to pointer, and it is used to access the values as well. It is used to access the value through pointer to pointer, and pointer must be initialized before we use. Pointer must be initialized before we use. Here completes the module 3. And if you can easily access this PDF by clicking the link below, I'll give in description and comment section as well. If you found this video even 1% helpful, then like this video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Comment below and let me know if it is helpful. And your like, share, subscribe will motivate me to create even more videos which will help you. Thank you very much for watching. And if you want me to explain any particular subject or topic, comment below and let me know. I'll consider for sure. Thank you very much. And if you haven't joined my WhatsApp channel, I'll give the link in comment section and description as well. Click that and join my WhatsApp channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you in module 4 video.